Yes.
Hey guys!
Hello. Hello.
I just read an interesting article titled Transgenic Crops as an Innovative Solution for Farmers. It says that transgenic crops can help the farmers to increase their productivity. Do you guys think that it is true or no?
Talking about transgenic crops, it is part of modern biotechnology, right?
Yes, but I think before we decide whether they are really a solution, we need to understand what they are.
Actually, the article already explains a little bit about biotechnology. So it says that biotechnology is a branch of science that uses living organisms or their parts to help meet human needs. And it's also divided into two types, the conventional one and the modern one. So conventional biotechnology uses traditional methods such as fermentation in making tempe and tape, but meanwhile the modern one is used advanced techniques like genetic engineering to modify the characteristic of the living organism.
Exactly, and also if you guys can see on this article, it says that nowadays the modern biotechnology is more focusing on the development of transgenic crops. In the case of transgenic crops, scientists actually insert a foreign DNA into plants' genes to develop a new characteristics. And this discovery became possible because the scientists had successfully used biological vectors such as plasmid to use as bacteria like Agrobacterium tumefaciens to insert genetic materials into plants' cells.
So basically, they use bacteria as a tool to carry new genes into the plant.
Yes, you're right. Because through the process, the plants can develop a new and stronger traits such as natural resistance to pests and the ability to survive in extreme environmental like drought.
That sounds very promising, especially for farmers who struggle with pest and also climate challenges.
Yep, but even though the technology sounds advanced and beneficial, the real issue is whether these advantages truly outweigh the possible risk.
That's right. So the question remains, are they truly an innovative solution or could they create a new problem?
Guys, so from what I've read, transgenic crops has shown a significant benefits. Like for example, a transgenic crops from India called BT cotton increased crop yields by up to 50% and increased farmers' income by $250 per hectare.
That clearly shows economic improvement for farmers.
Yes.
Are there other examples?
Of course, in Philippines and China, transgenic corn increased production by up to 60% while reducing the insecticide use.
Yes, reducing insecticide use is important because it protects farmers' health and helps maintain soil fertility.
Oh, that sounds environmentally friendly.
And guys, if we look from the bioethical perspective, this supports the principle of benefits because it strengthens food security and provides economic wealth.
It also supports non-malnutrition since BT crops are designed to target the specific pests without harming the beneficial organism.
And if access is fair, it supports the principle of justice for small-scale farmers.
Even though the benefits are clear, we cannot ignore the risk.
What kind of risk?
First, pollen from transgenic plant can spread to nearby non-transgenic plant, affecting their genetic purity. This could harm farms who want to maintain traditional and organic crops. And the second, such pests as the pink bollworm can develop resistance within 2 to 5 years. When this happens, farms may need to stronger chemicals and production costs can increase by up to 20%.
So instead of reducing expenses, it could create a new economic burden.
Exactly. There is also the emergency of herbicide resistance, which this can lead to higher pesticide use, may which damage biodiversity and disturb ecosystem.
So if that happens, it could violate the principle of non-maleficent because the technology might harm environmental harm.
Yes, and we also need to consider seeds monopolies by large multinational companies when farms depend on patented seeds. Their independence may be limited.
Oh yeah, that raises concern about the principle of justice because small-scale farmers might not have an equal access or economic freedom. So can we still say that transgenic crops are an innovative solution for farmers?
I believe they can be, but only if they're managed responsibly.
I agree the race should not make us reject the technology completely, but they should encourage better regulation and monitoring.
There must be a strict supervision to prevent pest resistance and also fair policies to avoid seed monopolies.
So, with a strong regulation and continuous research, biotechnology can improve farmers' welfare without damaging the environment.
As humans who are given reason and responsibility, we must use the innovation wisely.
Last but not least, transgenic crops can actually be the innovative solution for farmers if they are developed and managed ethically and also responsibly.